Today, I'm joined by two reoccurring guests. We got Chris Murda, and we got Mike Melodia.
Yes, sir.
And we also have a live audience.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. We really a live audience. This is the most live it's been.
That's fine.
But you know, a lot of my podcasts are like interviews with guests, but today I kind of wanted to tackle like one question, which is, you know, the process of how to build a studio. And what better guys to do it than two guys who have built numerous studios, right? Thank you for tuning in to the Mike Squires and Friends podcast. You can support by subscribing on YouTube or downloading on your preferred podcast platform. And definitely go do that because it helps us grow and I can have more incredible guests on the podcast. The Mike Squires and Friends podcast is proudly sponsored by Distrokid. Looking to broaden your musical horizons as an artist? Discover Distrokid. With its smooth and rewarding music distribution platform, Distrokid offers unlimited uploads while ensuring artists retain 100% of their royalties and earnings. Join the community of over 1 million artists who trust Distrokid to distribute their music across major platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, TikTok, Tidal, and so many others. Having personally used Distrokid since 2018, I can attest to their superiority amongst distribution services. Collaborating with fellow artists has become effortless, especially with the ability to easily send splits of songs, streamlining the creative process. With the Distrokid app, accessing these benefits is now more convenient than ever. Safely sign up or log in with two-factor authentication, upload releases on the fly, monitor earnings, and withdraw funds from your Distrokid bank. Stay updated on royalties through push notifications, effortlessly share hyperfollow links, manage account details seamlessly, and track streaming stats from Spotify and Apple. Additionally, explore Mixia for professional-grade mastering, DistroVid for music video distribution, and Instant Share for secure file sharing with collaborators, producers, and more. The DistroKid app is available on both iOS and Android. Download it today from the App Store or Google Play Store to revolutionize your music career. Visit distrokid.com/VIP/Mike Squires to get 30% off your first year membership. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Mike Squires and Friends.
Facts.
So, you know, I want to talk to you first about what's the first step into like, you know, starting a studio. I guess it's like finding the location, right?
Yeah, finding a location for sure.
Actually, nah. Coming up with the idea of doing it first.
Well, that's a fact. Definitely gotta have the idea and just the vision.
Facts.
It all starts in your mind for sure. You know what I mean? You gotta manifest it, you know, before it could come to life.
What's the first time you guys like thought of First Class then?
Well, Murda's been trying to come up with, build a community studio for years.
Facts.
When he came down from LA, I had already started Lines then, and Murda kind of just came into it or whatever. And then after that kind of ended, me and Murda was like, let's just come up with, you know, what he had been thinking of for a while and what I kind of had started to create with Lines then, and you know, upgraded to something bigger.
Yeah, and I want to paint the picture for the people listening, because right now we're in First Class Studios. How many square feet is this studio?
Shit, over 5,000, I think. Around 5,000, something
Probably,
like that.
Yeah.
And how many rooms do you guys have in here?
So, gang of rooms. Right now, we got 3 up and running studios with a producer studio in the back. We got a photo room. We got a DJ room. We got, a big-ass lounge. You know what I'm saying? A stage in the spot. You know what I mean? We got a little bit of everything.
You rent out this space, right? Is that how? So you rent out the space. When you get this space, it's not what it looks like now. You know, it's pretty much a warehouse, right?
Facts.
So,
Facts.
you know, how do you get to the point from going from like a warehouse to like a space that people would actually want to come to, you know?
Creating a vibe, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because originally a lot like the rooms that we have built now, before that they were just offices. So like when we first moved in here, I remember like the bigger studio, we just put some curtains up, threw a desk in the corner, and called it a studio. And
it really looked like the trap house.
It did. It looked bad. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. That trap house studio, we made a lot of like hits out of there,
That's
bro.
facts.
And it was really like the starting point for us to be able to raise up enough money to be able to invest into these rooms and make them to what they are now, you know, like acoustically treated with all the equipment that we have in there, and just the vibe.
And I think something to take away from that's important is that it's just important to start. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to have the final, it doesn't need to be immediately perfect. You just gotta hop into it and work with what you got and then build it as you go.
Facts.
Yeah, we all a work in progress, man. We ain't perfect. We we take it day by day and just try to make progress every day.
Yeah, and this podcast is like very timely for me because, as you guys know, I'm building my own little Squires space at the Stanford Town Center right now.
Facts.
And
Yes, sir.
damn, I need the live audience every time, dude. Every time I say something cool, you guys got to cheer that on. No, so I'm building this space at the Stanford Town Center. And, coming back to first class after, like, putting in man hours over there, I'm like, yo, these guys have put in so much work over here. Like, stuff that, like, yeah, that's another one. Round 2, yeah. Yeah, but it's things that you don't even think about too. It's like, I know you guys had to put in the drop ceiling. It's like the carpeting, the wall, like all that stuff, and that stuff gets expensive too.
Yeah, bro, super
sure.
expensive.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Shout out to our contractors, my boy Harry. Where Harry at?
Harry, you here?
He left.
My
Harry
boy
left.
Harry in the house.
He was just
He's
here.
somewhere.
Harry, I got a job for you, dude. I got some work. that
Se
needs to
fue,
get done.
se fue Harry. Harry.
Yeah.
No.
But you know what I mean? So like, what's the steps you take to like start getting it nicer? Like, where's the first place that you guys invested once you guys had the space?
These 2 rooms, right? A and B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That's my boy right there. That's the
Contractor
contractor
Harry?
right there. Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Everyone give a round of applause for Harry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dude. But yeah. So you invested in those 2 rooms first.
Yeah.
I think we upped some of the equipment
Yeah.
first. Got the same setups for both rooms. And
Shout out to Z Sounds, man.
yeah, Z Sounds. Ain't gonna
Holding
lie,
it
Z
down.
Sounds have held us down. Facts.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you guys about this too, because like, there's a lot of artists out there who record at home and stuff like that too. What would you say to an artist that's like trying to build their own like home studio, or like some advice that you'd have for them trying to figure out their own sound at home?
I think just trial and error. Just keep recording. You know what I mean? Definitely watch a ton of YouTube videos. Everything you really need to know is online now. Like when I came up, I went to school. You know what I mean? I was still on the YouTube, but it was not nearly
YouTube
as
University
much.
is kicked in, dude.
Facts. You can learn anything you want as long as you put your mind to it. You can figure it out online now. You know what I mean? You just gotta have the hunger behind it.
Yeah, and you know what I think is important too, actually, is that like, I think it's okay to get like the cheap snowball mic and those things too, because
Facts.
like, especially when you're just starting out, like, you need to find out if it's worth it. You know what I mean? And like, if you're truly passionate, because it's like, you don't want to blow a huge bag on equipment that's incredible and then realize like, oh, maybe this
Yeah.
isn't for me.
It's also not the, like, it's not the gear, it's the ear. It's cliche to say, but
That's facts.
you could do amazing things with very cheap gear.
Bro,
I agree with
it's
that.
people I know that have records that have done serious numbers. They recorded the song on BandLab, yo. You know what I mean? Just taking the time
Yeah.
to perfect their craft and figure it out. You could get great quality out of these phones right here with the app, gang.
No, that's the
You just
truth,
gotta put
dude.
your mind to it and do
That's
it.
a fact.
Yeah, but then like on the flip side, you guys own a very expensive studio.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It's like, but with that, comes bigger clients. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You guys have like some serious industry clients that come in and out of here. Like, what's some advice that you have for like growing and marketing and like, trying to build that net worth or network?
Honestly, just like word of mouth and just quality control with what comes out of here. Because that, like, I know that's something that Chris is huge on, and he's
Sure.
kind of like instilled that into my mind, because it's like, you never know what song could pop off. You never know what artist is gonna have a gold record or whatever. So it's like everything that comes out of here has to be the best sounding quality or whatever. It has to be the best of the best.
You know that if you're going to first class, you're getting a quality product.
1,000%.
Yeah.
That's what we strive for, is like anything that comes out of here has to sound amazing.
Yeah, and it's important because it adds to your guys' reputation, because people do talk, and they're, you know what I mean? They're like, if you want a legit record, go to first class. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I'm sure there are other people who, yeah, we can get a clap for that. There you go.
There you go.
I'm gonna be so annoying with that. But I'm sure on the flip side, there are some studios that like people talk about and they're like, "Yo, don't go there." You know what I mean? It's
For
like,
sure.
Yeah.
But we try to keep the positive.
yeah.
energy.
So I want to get back to kind of like the construction of making the studio. So like you start with those 2 rooms. It's like, you know, what mics are you guys choosing? Like what like, you know what I mean? What are some of the things that you have found useful, like when actually building the studio, like more specific things?
So I mean, as far as the mics, I believe we started off with the Telefunk and Copperhead mics, right?
Yeah.
And
I made
then
in Connecticut too.
Because there's some nerd listening to this who is going to like really want to know exactly
for
the
sure.
mics, you know, and the journey of
really
them.
even like our vocal strip has just been our vocal strip that we use in basically all our rooms is something that, you know, I've tailor made over the years of just trial and error. So we use a 1073 Neve into a Neve 551 diode bridge compressor.
535.
Yeah, 535. Sorry. And yeah, man. So you know, we just keep it like that.
What's one of the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome when building the studio?
The acoustics.
Facts. Just bleed from room to
Yeah.
room. Just sound traveling.
The first two rooms that we built, honestly, was a trial and error type
For
of
sure.
thing.
Emphasis on the error?
Yeah.
Big error.
yeah.
Bro, we had to move the booth to the other side of the room, gang. After
Already
we built,
built,
it
already built, and
it was
everything.
complete.
They
How
had to
come?
cut the walls and put it.
because
It just
because
didn't
we
make
built,
sense.
We built booth, studio, booth, and then studio. So really, we should have put the booths back to back to create a bigger gap
space
between where the
between
I
speakers
see what
are.
you're
two
saying.
rooms, yeah.
So we had to redo that.
Is something like that expensive? It sounds
It
expensive.
was definitely
It was
expensive.
very expensive, bro.
So like in moments like that, like, you know,
Facts.
because I know recently I had like a moment where my studio where I was like trying to paint the ceiling and I
Yeah.
hired these dudes and it was like a mess. They made a huge mess and I was like devastated. Like how do you, in those moments where things go wrong, like how do you bounce back and not just like, because I was out for a hot second. I just like had to sit down and like walk out the room.
Honestly, you just gotta like, and this is something that me and him like argue about a lot, is when something bad happens, bro, like if you just dwell on it, like you're gonna be there upset and mad, and it's not gonna change the fact that it already happened. Like it happened, okay, how are we gonna move on from this? How are we gonna fix this? How are we gonna just keep going? Like the more you dwell on the mistake, the bigger the mistake is. If you just okay, the mistake happened, the error happened, boom, whatever, let's move on. What's the next project? How do we fix this? Like you can't dwell on the mistake forever, bro.
No, that's real, dude. And I think like that's something that applies to everything. That's not even just
Yeah.
like Sue. That's just life. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Because the problem, I'm a big solution guy. You know what I mean? Like, because if we're just gonna keep focusing on the problem, like you said, it's just gonna get bigger.
It's gonna bother you, bro. Like
Yeah.
just move on.
Yeah. Were there any other hiccups you had when like building the studio? Because I'm sure there's no way it could just be the one. Maybe it could be though. I don't know.
The gear,
There's a gear maintenance. You know what I mean? Headphones breaking.
Oh my god.
You know, the infamous one ear goes out in the headphones.
Dude,
10 times.
we ordered how many pairs did we order?
We can't even a lot.
We
a
ordered
lot.
like a good 8 pairs. I'm not gonna say what brand it was because I'm not gonna talk bad mouth them, but we ordered 8 pairs of this one brand of headphones, bro, and only one of them has survived.
Bro,
Wow.
Mind you, that's
You can't
two-
say it because like in case future sponsorship stuff.
Yeah,
Because all of a
man.
sudden
Just
then
do
they become the
better.
best.
Facts.
But so then the flip side, what's like the biggest moment of success you've had like in the studio? Did you guys have like a wow moment, like this is really coming together?
I don't know, what
When
did
was
you
the
say?
day when we were putting together the room?
Which one? The big one?
Nah, that room. Remember, it was like a couple days ago. It was a couple days ago.
Oh, with the we just bought the new headphone amp and all
Yeah,
that.
Murda was setting up some headphone stuff in the booth in Terminal A, and I was like sitting there. It was me, Murda, and Kev, and I was just sitting there, and I kind of like spaced out for a second, and I was like, "Yo," I looked at Murda, and I'm like, "Yo, we really own the studio, bro." Like it was a cool moment to realize like how far we've come from, literally just having an open space to a whole 3 studios, photo room, podcast room, DJ room. Like it's insane, bro.
Yeah, because
It's kind of crazy. Ain't gonna lie.
I've known you guys, like ever since I've known you guys, you both have had like studios, you know what I mean? So that's a good question I want to ask too. Like at what point do you guys link and like really say like, let's do this together?
That was after Lions Den.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been planning to put together like a big studio for the community really for a long time. It's always been in my mind. But it really came to life when Mike had closed his previous studio. I was living in LA. I was coming back here. My mom actually had got sick. She was in the hospital heavy. And I was out here all the time. And, you know, me and Mike would chop it up all the time. For a while, I was going to his studio until it closed. And then after, we were just in the talks about, you know, starting another studio and keeping it going. And we stumbled across this place, not even looking for this space. We was looking at somewhere down the street.
Yeah, how did you find this place?
I think was it
It was Wilmer.
Wilmer put us on.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Wilmer.
Because we had found this, it was another space down the street. And we were like, it was an open warehouse space. And we were like, it's cool, but it's not really what we're looking for. And he was like, I think I got a space for you that would work perfect for you. It wasn't on the market at all. They weren't even planning to rent the space, to be honest, because it wasn't convenient for any businesses because, like, the parking situation, like, it's kind of difficult just the access to get up here and all that or whatever. So he was like, I think this space would actually work out for you guys.
It's funny because, like, the spaces that would, like, work for normal retailers are kind of the opposite of what would work well for a studio. You know what I mean? You don't want to, like, be walking, like, granted, I'm in the mall, but I'm, like, in the cut of the mall. You know, I'm, like, hidden in a storage closet in the back. But if I was, like, you know, next to Macy's, like, that'd be crazy, dog.
Yeah, facts.
So it's funny because you want, like, your studios to kind of be hidden because you have so much expensive equipment here. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's another thing, too. Like, we could briefly talk about it, but just, like, security, because, like, you guys got a solid security system here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Facts.
Security is super important for a studio, to be honest. Because we get a lot of people that, you know, wear expensive jewelry, or people that have clout that are very well known, or even people that might not be, you know, famous or anything, but they have, you know, problems outside of the studio that they could be dragged down, you know, to the studio. You don't want people to know, you know, where you're at what exact moment and stuff like that.
it's so important, dude. Like, especially when you have, like, these high-profile clients, too,
Yeah,
because
for
it's
sure.
like, you know, you just
No,
don't want
too.
everyone knowing where they are at a given second, too, because,
Yeah.
you know, their reach is incredible, and you never know who's
for
watching.
sure.
Facts.
We,
You know,
we
but-
we take the security and everything and everybody's privacy very seriously and super important to us. And we stay on top of it. We got multiple levels of security system in the spot. You know, we all sturdy. You know,
And we all
we
sturdy.
Gucci over here.
Y'all know, you know what that means. But I want to pull it back to the vibe, though, right? Because, you know, earlier you, like, mentioned creating the vibe in the studio, and that is probably one of the most important things, I think, in a studio. And so, you know, one thing that I remember from, like, Magic Sound Studios back in the day, dude, is when I was working with Murda, like, he'd always have a candle lit. You know what I mean? I know it's
Facts.
like
He still does that.
He still does that. You know what I
And
mean?
the
It's almost
same,
like
the
a,
same
set,
kind of candle
everything,
too.
man.
it's like a ritual,
Facts.
dude. But, like, to me, like, that always made, like, the vibe of the studio. So, like, you know, what are some things that you do to, like, make sure that you're creating a good vibe, like, from the lighting to, you know, even how you, like, position the room and everything?
Man, that's kind of, you know, just me. I'm big on the vibes, man. You know, like, I got the LED lights in there. You know what I mean?
It's the vibe dealer.
You feel me? The vibes is super important, gang. You know, the lights on the dimmer. You know what I mean? Like, candle lit.
If the room does not have a dimmer, Murda's not working
I'm
in
not
there. I
going
promise
in the
you
room.
that. I promise you that.
Facts. But yeah, man, it's just super important to me. And just the energy too. You know, having that good energy in the studio. And just, you know, just good vibes, man. We don't need none of that negativity when we trying to create, you know?
Yeah. Could you
Facts.
tell me a good experience that you've had with an artist within the studio? Like, could be recent, old, or, like, something that just, like, stands out?
Every
Damn,
day.
recent experience, an everyday thing,
Yeah,
honestly,
every
bro.
day. I mean,
Every session,
just the other day, me and my man's on Fetty Hardway, he's somewhere in here. We just recorded a smash. Him and JR, 2 smashes back to back. You know what I'm saying? Like, just put a quick mix on both of them, and just the energy was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, just good quality music, good songs. You know, every day is great. You know. Great
Yeah.
times, man. You feel me?
You know, that's a good thing I want to talk about, too, is, like, some of the records that have come out of here. Because, like, I know that you like. Wait, this is a clap moment, everyone. Murda just got a plaque.
Facts,
Oh, yeah,
facts.
Boy got a gold plaque, you heard?
Facts.
My boy
Dog,
Golden.
the live audience is so sick, dude. But yeah, let's talk about that, dude. You know, how did that record come to be, and you know, what was the moment that you realized you were getting that plaque, dude?
Shit, man. That whole process was when I started working at Empire. They were working on the DJ Drama project with Jim Jones, Gangster Grills, and we were just locked in for weeks on weeks, just working on that project, trying to get it ready. And yeah, I ended up recording Jim on a few of the records, and one of them records happened to be We Set the Trends, and the Migos was on it. I did all like the DJ dub plays with Jim. We was in there for like a week straight, did like 1,000 dub plays. You know what I'm saying? Just getting that record out to the masses. And yeah, man, that shit was pretty dope, man. I've been working with bro for ever since. And Empire, shout out everybody at Empire. My guy Bobby and everything. But yeah, I found out like a few weeks ago. It was Official Tissue. They invited me and the team to out to eat for the announcement of it. And yeah, it was crazy, man. Shit was a movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We were literally talking about it a week before they told him that he got the plaque too.
You're like, yo, I wonder if that's gonna.
No, we were just talking about plaques in general because he was.
sick.
Chris's thing is like, oh, let's I can't wait for us to have plaques around the studio, blah blah blah. And I was like, yo, like you should be getting a plaque anytime soon, bro. And then we started looking into the numbers of like all the stuff he's worked on. And I think it was that and another track. I forgot what it was that was close to it.
Couple
And then
records,
boom,
yeah.
like a week later, he gets the text like, yo, we just hit gold. And I was like, what? Yeah, it was crazy.
What's the feeling of that?
Shit's kind of surreal, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit's definitely surreal. I've been making records out of my basement in the crib for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? And in the studios. I've been traveling across the country working on records. It's just surreal, man. It's like everything kind of, you know, is for a purpose, you know what I mean? And just showing that all the hard work is appreciated. You know what I mean? It's pretty dope, man. Just bringing it back to the town, man. Showing that it's possible, you know, for those to come after me. You know what I'm saying?
That was a good clap moment, dude. But you know, because you guys do show a lot of love to the community, so I'd like to take a moment too, because I know there are a ton of like other producers, photographers, videographers that work out of here too, and like maybe we could like touch on some of the people that work out of here too, and how you ended up connecting with them.
Shit, pretty much the whole team. I mean, you know, we got Segi, D Fields, McLee,
Facts.
Hollywood. I don't know where he's at. Little Hollywood's over there though. You know, AMG, Chaos, Young Juani. Oh yeah, my boy Juani too, about to get a plaque soon too, man.
It's on the way, gang.
Boy producing our tracks, but moral of the story is a lot of like our team. We tried.
Chewy, Len.
Yeah, Chewy and Len, all them.
Big Kev.
Facts. Oh yeah,
Raffy
DJ
in the
Big Kev,
building.
can't forget about
You
that.
heard?
Our team, we try to put them in position to be able to, you know, reach those goals. Like Murda being at Empire, like, and me being here, like his job is to get our people involved with what's going on over there, for them to get their credits, for them to build up those credentials to bring it back home. You know what I mean? So it's like super important for. It's super important to take our team out of here, but
Kitty.
to bring those prizes back home. In fact, shout out to Kitty too, and bring those prizes back home. That's really the main goal.
And another thing too, like, you know, the event that you guys just did, like the Spectra Showcase. Dog, that was tight. Yeah. That was tight.
Hey, yo, shout out Star,
man, wherever
Big
Star
shout out
is at.
Star. I don't know where she at, but
She
facts.
was here, facts.
Yeah, but it was just like, you know, I came to that event and it was just like kind of a beautiful moment to see like everybody come together and it just be like, it's all love, you know what I mean? It was
All
like
love,
really
man.
cool, and I could tell the hard work that was going into that, because, you know, I've done my fair share of events, but like when I see you guys like, you know, making sure that everything's running smoothly,
Yeah,
you know,
man.
it's like, it really is cool. You know, like when it goes to putting events together, what's like one of the biggest hurdles that you have to jump on them?
Probably just the time and
I think timing, but I think our thing is quality control.
Oh yeah,
because everything we do, we want to do it at the highest level.
Yeah,
you feel me? So just attention to detail on everything. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely something that is challenging, but it pays off in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I also feel like, because that event was crazy, honestly. We had like a good 60, 70 submissions of artists that wanted to perform. And it was just hard, bro, because we had to pick, like, originally we wanted to pick 8. But it was like so many submissions, so much good music. So we were like, let's just do 10 to make it fair. But it's like just the organization of everything is super important. Like, me and Chris would have never been able to do that by ourselves. Like, we needed all the help we got that day. And shout out to Star 1,000% too, because she organized the hell out of that event. And then also everyone that helped us out for that event, just organizing and putting it together. Like, and I think that show was amazing, to be honest, bro.
No, it came together. I had so much fun, dude. Maybe too much fun.
We had like 200 people in here that day. I've never seen so many people in here that night, bro.
It was so beautiful, dude.
It was a movie, bro.
Yeah.
It was like so much fun. But you said 70 artists submitted. Like what? Because that's a hard choice to make at that point. You know what I mean? It's like, what was the process of like vetting the artists that like eventually you decided to perform?
It was a lot of things.
First we sat down and listened to all the submissions. We listened to all the music, and really tried to put together a show and curate a show that made sense and flowed right, and really showcase the talent coming out of the city, out of the state. You know what I'm saying? Really, it was tough, man. There's so many dope artists. It really narrowed it down by just trying to pick the best flow of the show, really.
Yeah, we were trying to go for a certain vibe for that night, and it was very difficult to pick between all those artists.
Definitely.
But it was a lot of little things. Like, honestly, like if you sent the submission in time, if you did the submission correctly, the songs you chose to show us, because like a lot of the artists that we did not pick, they're amazing artists, but the choice of songs they sent in weren't what fit the vibe of that show that night.
Facts. That and we were just trying to get people that were just taking it as professional as possible. Like bro said, like with the submitting, you know what I mean? Trying to submitting on time, and because if you last minute submit, we already got 50, 60, 70 people to go through. You know what I'm saying? That's
gotta be timely, dude.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time.
Each artist sent like 3-4 songs. So doing that times 60, 70, like that's a lot of music to listen to, bro.
Yeah. When putting the whole studio together, like what's one of the biggest lessons that you guys have learned?
Patience.
That's a fact. Oh shit, man. That's the motherfucking lesson I don't want to learn, but I gotta learn. Yeah, patience is a fact.
Patience.
And I be trying to get things done ASAP.
Yeah.
But it don't always work like that.
He's mad like, I need it done now. Who do I gotta pay to get it done?
Facts.
I feel you, dude. Even earlier today, I was devastated when you said carpeting could take 5 days, dude. I was like, oh no, dude. But what's like an example of something that you dealt with that you thought was gonna be like, oh, we'll just do this and pay it and it'll be done, and ended up taking a little bit longer than you thought?
The whole studio.
Yeah, facts. The whole studio was like that.
Yeah, dude.
Chris thought we was gonna have the studio in a month. When we were building those 2 rooms, that shit took a year.
In his defense, though, you like, because I'm in the middle of doing mine, like I do feel that. I feel like I've been building my studio. It's going to be done in a month for 4 months now. You know what I mean? It's like,
it keep going, man.
It was supposed to be Thanksgiving, and here we are past Thanksgiving. So it's just how it happens. But I think there's something to be said about like giving yourself like these deadlines where it's like, it's that important to you that you want to get it done in a timely manner, because it's important, and especially when you're renting a space like this. It's like if you're not operational, like it's gonna cost you money.
Yeah.
Facts.
But then we go back to what I said before. Like sometimes things just don't happen the way you plan them to be. Like that's just how life is, bro. It's like you gotta learn to accommodate to what life throws at you and just maneuver and move forward. You know?
You gotta adapt or die, dude.
Yeah, facts.
I like that. Yeah.
What's some advice that you'd have to somebody who's trying to build a studio now? And I'm asking personally at this point.
Yeah, just keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing and know that you'll get there.
Okay,
You know what I mean? There's going to be hurdles along the way. But as long as you don't let them defeat you, you're going to be all right, man. You just got to keep pushing forward.
Facts. And enjoy the process of
Enjoy
getting
the process
to
for sure.
where you're going.
Listen, the motherfucking ups will never feel like ups if you ain't never experienced any downs.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So everything you go through makes you appreciate where you at. Facts.
No, that's the truth, dude. I feel that 1,000%. And it's just I've had a couple days, I talked about a little bit, but I've had a couple days where I'm in the studio. Some days it's amazing where it's my imagination, I'm standing around looking around this is going to be sick. And other days I'm just standing in there oh my God, what did I do? Why did I take this on? You know what I mean? Because it's you don't realize how much work goes into building something until you're there. I'll tell you a little story about mine too, because maybe there's something similar with you guys. So after I signed the lease with the mall, right? I walk into my space and there's all these shelves in there. So I look at the dude Dan, the manager of the mall, and I was like, "What are we gonna do with these shelves?" Yeah. And he's like, "I don't know. They're yours now." So I was like, "Oh no!" But then I'm up there with a rubber mallet, just smacking these. I look psycho, dude. I'm sweating. I'm mad gross. There's dust falling on the ceiling. My eyes are all bloodshot red from all the years of whatever dust and grit was up there. But it's you put in a lot of man hours, I'm sure you guys put in a lot of personal man hours in your guys' space as well that you know that you did that work, but maybe someone else doesn't. You know what I mean?
Everything you see up here,
especially in the beginning.
Couches, studio desks, Chris's maze that he got back there.
And I need to put this in perspective for people who have never been here and are listening. You guys are up 3 flights of stairs.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Everything you see up here, we put on our backs and brought it up here.
You don't understand. There's a pool table
There's
up
no elevator. At one point, we bought a vending machine.
We got halfway. We got halfway up with the vending machine.
Wait, from the fire department?
Yeah.
I was there with you guys.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit did not make it all the way
It
up.
didn't make it up.
Where is it now?
It dropped and started sliding down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I was you know what?
You was behind it too.
Somebody almost
Murda's got that
crushed.
strength, dude. Murda could have single-handedly brought that thing
I
out,
almost got
Yeah.
crushed. I said forget about it.
Yeah, that shit weighed at least 1,000 pounds.
Yeah,
bro.
it was
it was heavy, bro.
900 something pounds.
We had a guy that played college football, a lineman, bro, help us that day. Who was that guy? I forget his name.
I forgot, but he was bigger than all three of us.
Bro, he's huge, bro, and he couldn't push that bitch up the stairs, bro.
Yeah, but it's it's crazy. Another thing I want to talk to, because this is kind of reminding me of it, the things that you have to do sometimes are crazy.
Facts.
To get things done, it's because, I know with the vending machine, for example, you guys picked that up from a fire station. You know what I mean? It's so random, dude. But it's do you have an instance of something super random that you had to do to put something together for the studio?
Super random? I don't know, man. There's so much stuff, bro. It's so much stuff we done brought in here.
Facts.
I don't know, man. We've gotten I think we got a couch off of somebody. We got it from the apartment, but we had to carry it out. We had to go through this courtyard.
Oh, on the east side?
Yeah, we had to walk through this long ass courtyard with this big ass couch.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of
A
stuff
lot of Facebook
that.
market adventures, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, you can find some good stuff on there, dude. One thing I want to talk to, because I'm going to start wrapping this up, is just mixing and mastering in general, because there is still a % of artists out there that are probably listening to this that don't understand the importance of a mix and master.
Man.
So as 2 engineers, I would love for you guys to talk on that for a second, dude.
Go ahead, Chris. Go crazy.
That's super important. Mixing and mastering is super important. Just for the quality of the experience for the listener. You know what I'm saying? And just having your song, your work of art presented in the right light. I mean, it just makes sense. I don't understand. But, super important, man. I understand finances. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's tough, but that's when you got to find somebody who you could work with and grow with, you know what I mean? Or even amongst yourself, try to learn to see what you could do. And just take that time into trying to get the best sound and work, you
Facts.
could, man. Super important.
Just invest into it. I feel like the biggest issue is artists will just record, spend the money on recording. And it's like, why not finish what you started, you know? Invest the money in recording. Okay, next session, invest on mixing it. Next session, invest on mastering or any edits you need to do. And then once the song is good and sounded good, now move on to a new song. Yep. I know it's easier said than done because we're creatives. We want to keep creating. We want to keep moving forward. But in my personal experience, I feel like the best way of going about things is just finish what you started and then move on.
No, that's the truth, too. You said it best though, easier said than done. Because even me as a creative, I'm like dude, I am all over the place, dude. Because like, you know, it's tricky sometimes because you might not be feeling the same way the day that you recorded it. Like, you know what I mean? So it can be tricky. But from a business standpoint, there's a lot of value in what you're saying too, because you're just going to end up with all these half-finished songs that you've already put money into, and they're not going to even make it out to the world because you don't want to finish them.
And you're still going to spend the money. Why not finish something? Why not invest the money the correct way, finish it, and then invest money into the next song and the next song? You don't even got to be there for the mix and mastering process of things. You know, honestly, you could be there for the creative part, obviously, because you got to record, and then you're like, okay, let's move on. Let's mix it and master. How much do I got to pay you? Whatever the price is, you know, you come up with a deal for that, whatever. You don't have to be there sitting next to the guy. Let him do his job. He's your engineer. Trust your engineer.
Yeah, no, that's how I work because I send all my stuff out.
Yeah.
Like I'm very rarely am I in the room with the person mixing that, and I think that's personally the best for me because I could be a micromanager. You know what I mean? Like I'm sometimes I find myself to be the dude where it's like, yo, like, can you raise that kick up a little bit? You know what I mean? Like, but sometimes it's like. And I've gotten way better with it because, like you said, you got to just, and this applies to everybody on your team, trust them to do their jobs. Like, if you're hiring an engineer, trust them to do the engineer. If they say it's good, it's good. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes there are, like, creative things that, like, are a little different than, like, just the mix and master. Like, you know, like, drops in the beat, like, things like that. But, you know, just trust people to do their jobs, and I think that goes for everything.
Yeah.
For sure. You know what I mean?
For sure. Trust the right people.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that,
Come
dude.
to first class.
Yeah. So, you know, when building a team, too, because I think this is, and we can kind of end on this note, like, what do you guys look for when you're building the team of people that, you know, because you're all about quality. So it's like, you kind of have to vet the people that come in here and are allowed to, like, work with you guys.
For sure.
I'm huge on, like, if you're going to do something, do it to the best of your ability. Like, If I ask you to do something, I would expect you to treat the thing I tell you to do, like how I would handle it. Like I remember when I worked, you know, regular 9-to-5 jobs. Like if my boss told me to mop the bathroom floor, like I'ma scrub the shit out of the floor. You know what I mean? Because everything you do shows who you are as a person. So the type of people I look for on my team are people that are gonna treat the studio like if it was their own studio, their baby. You know what I mean? Like
you want people that care.
Yeah, care a lot, to go above and beyond. Like if I ask you to do a task, like are you gonna just do the task to, you know, whatever the task is, or are you gonna go above and beyond and be like, okay, he asked me to, you know, mix his track, I'm about to go crazy and, you know what I mean, make it sound the best that I can make it sound. Like just go above and beyond with whatever you do.
No, I agree 1,000%.
For me, I'm big on the energy too. Of course, you know, like putting your all into what you're trying to do is super important, and that's expected. You know what I mean? If you're trying to be a part of the first class team, but just your energy and the way you carry yourself is super important, and just knowing, you know what I mean, how far we trying to go with this, and this is just the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody on this team right now, gonna be doing very well in 10 years. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to the top, man.
Last thing I want to bring, like, before I pull it to the end zone is, like, what would you say to, like, a younger self? You know what I mean? Because, like, I know that's, like, a cliche question, but the fact that, like, you know, at one point you were a young kid that, like, had a dream of, like, getting a career in music to owning, you know, one of the biggest studios probably in Connecticut. You know what I mean? I can't name a studio bigger than this one in Connecticut off the top of my head. You know what I mean? So, like, what would you, like, you know, some advice you'd give a younger you?
Shit, I don't even
Younger me, man.
Stay out of trouble.
I mean, stay out of trouble, but I feel like everything we go through in everything we've been to makes us who we are. So I don't know. It's tough to think about what advice I would give myself because I feel like I went through everything I needed to go through to be here. But just keep going through the process, and don't let anything defeat you. That's what I would say.
Yeah, facts.
And what's First Class Studios' message to the world? My bad for putting you on the spot. You guys got it. You got it.
Message to the world.
Yeah.
I feel like our message to the world is to do great things to the best of your ability, and to not give up. No matter what obstacles are put in front of you, there's always a solution for everything.
Facts.
So do your best to achieve that. You know what I mean?
Let's go, dude.
For sure. I mean, I second that. Just go do things to the fullest of your potential. You know what I mean? Just put your all into what you want to do, and it's bound to happen as long as you put your mind to it. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go, dude.
Facts.
I think that's a wrap on the first ever Mike Squires and Friends live podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yo, everyone make some noise for Mike Melodia.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Make some noise for Chris Murda.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm literally
Yes, sir.
bringing these guys everywhere. It's so great. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. And if people want to connect with you or book a session at the studio, how can they?
So they could go directly to the studio page, First Class Studios, or they could follow me, Mike La Melodia, 3 A's at the end. My boy Murda.
Chris_Murda. We here at First Class Studios.
Let's
I
go.
appreciate you, my guy. Let's make some noise for my guy,
My
Mike
boy
Squires.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Mike Squires and Friends podcast, man. We
Yes,
here.
sir. Going
First
crazy.
Class Studios edition. You know that.